Hello and welcome to the mini workshop on how to make decisions with confidence and how to channel that hip hop star energy. This is a skill that I honed being a pharmacist. I had to learn very quickly how to execute making decisions with confidence. And if we just get right into it from the get-go, how I was able to do that was to have a standard. And the standard in that setting was to always take care of the patient. So no matter what decision I made, the consequence of or fear of making the wrong decision, ethically, monetarily, whatever, was eased up because I knew that the patient was happier, healthier, safer, whatever it was, I made that decision for the highest good for the patient. And so this exact principle can be, and I would suggest should be, encouraged you to apply this to your life and how you make decisions on a day-to-day basis, the small ones and the big ones, because the small decisions you make add up to those really big decisions, and they all really lead you to the same path. Everything you do is opening up another opportunity. So let's dig into this a little bit more. We're fortunate to live in a world with so many options, an abundance of options, but I think that this has resulted in a ton of indecision. We are sometimes paralyzed by the number of choices that we have. Let me know if you feel that way. Say an amen right where you're at. But if you continue to sit on a decision, you continue to live by default. You're just letting, an opportunity pass you by hemming and hawing. And if you can start to think about making a decision will bring you some relief, especially us with anxiety, because if we just continue to ruminate on the same thing, we're not really advancing ourselves. We're really hindering our process. So if you need to make a decision and you are so daunted by how many there are, just know that making a decision will bring you some relief. And so choose which of the options result in you loving yourself, and also weigh which decisions might feed your fear. That is a great way to know which direction to go, love or fear. And you just have to start by making one. And sometimes we feel stuck and we have no options. If you really feel like you're stuck at a job, also remember, you always have a plethora of options. And even if you don't see that because of the way your mind has been thinking for so long, remember, for a job, for example, you don't have to go to work. You don't have to go to that job. There might be consequences for that action, but just knowing that there are options brings freedom and empowers you. You are choosing to go to that job every day. You have a job, etc., etc. Recognize that mindset work and making a decision is just a step-by-step process as it is to do something physical like tying your shoe. You have to move one step at a time in order to achieve a particular result. And so you just have to start and you have to choose and execute and then do it again and then do it again and then do it again. So the key here would be to choose a path that feels right. In life, when you make decisions, you're exchanging resources. And that's not good or bad. So sometimes you exchange money, which is a resource, for an experience or for a product to enhance your experience. And sometimes you exchange, just think about all of the things that come into play, like natural resources. When I decide I'm going to take a bath to clear my mind, I'm using the earth's water supply. And when I take a hike to clear my mind, I'm making foot traffic on the earth. I am exchanging some form of energy with another entity. And sometimes you exchange your energy or time for another person's advancement. We call that volunteering. You can see where I'm going with this. There's always an exchange. You are always a part of an agreement when you make a choice. And so in order to feel that your exchange is fair and worthy and equal, you have to accept that it is. And so you must strive for those choices that feel right, that feel like an equal exchange, or even that you're getting more value for what you're putting in. Otherwise, if you are exchanging more of your own value, and you feel that it's an unfair exchange, you will recognize that as sacrifice and it's not aligned. And that's when you've made a choice and decision and feelings like shame and guilt and unhappiness come into that storyline because you weren't aligned when you made that decision at the time. That's not the end all be all though. If you have been on autopilot or making decisions by default or someone else's opinion and you've been feeling insecure about making your own choices, again, you just have to execute, because first note that insecurity breeds insecurity. So if you have made an unequal exchange and you found yourself to have the short end, you're going to have a likely disappointing result. So you're going to want to start to make decisions, any that you can, that are small, that you are confident in, because your confidence translates to that result. And you have no choice but to make decisions that you can get behind, because that's what will feel good and that's what will produce a result that you're going to enjoy. So again, the worst thing that could happen is you do execute and make a choice, but at least you've done that. And if it's not a good fit, you recognize that. You realize that that wasn't worth your resources that you've exchanged. And so you make another decision from there with the knowledge that you gained from your first choice that feels better. And then you keep going from there, and you go again, and you go again, and you go again. Start making small choices by yourself and start noticing how you feel when you do that. That's how you're going to build self-confidence, is by the doing. And once you repetitively feel the satisfaction of your thoughts and actions being the correct choice for you, and execute them without needing and desiring others' validation to make up for any emotional gap you have between you and your highest self, you're just going to be so proud and be able to keep on doing that. You won't have that distance from your highest self. There will be no gap that you are requiring and desiring other people to fill that in for you. Does that make sense? If there is no gap, you make a decision, you're confident in it, it ends up well, and you receive positive feedback from other people, that is just support, not validation. That's support and momentum under your own execution of your own positive choices. Self-confidence comes when you move past those beliefs that decisions you make on your own are incorrect or that they won't work out. It always works out in the end because of the way that things unfold and the decisions you can make as a cascade of your first result. When you're ready to move past a block or limiting belief, your desire for that positive outcome outweighs the apprehension to do the work. I'll say it again. When you're ready to move past a block or limiting belief, that desire for the positive result outweighs your fear and apprehension to do that on your own. So if you're ready for change, and a change in the way that you carry yourself, and you want to be more confident, this is how you're going to do it. Make a decision, and instead of focusing on the ways that it might not work for you, that wouldn't even be an option because you're only going to make decisions that you can get behind, right? Focus on the combination of events that you have just orchestrated and how that's going to bring you the success that you desire. Whatever you choose will give you evidence and support to make the next decision. So here's a new motto. Once you've made your decision that you're totally aligned with because it feels good, you feel like it's an equal exchange of your resources, you say, I am aligned and this feels good. You confirm that you have made the decision in your best state of mind and that you're confident in it. Now that you know how to execute that, a tool to bring it to the next level would be to bring in a piece of citrine. So before we get into the specifics on how you can work with citrine to enhance your self-confidence, I just want to talk about crystal healing in general. So we as humans are nature, and also rocks are nature. And so humans, we carry vibrations, right? In the form of feelings and emotions. I'm feeling high vibe, I'm feeling low vibe, I'm feeling excited and up here, I'm feeling depressed and down here. And same for rocks, they also hold vibrations. However, ours fluctuate quite easily, and rocks have been here for much longer on this earth, and their structures and vibrations are much more stable than ours. So when we hold a crystal and we program it and we set intention with it, we are tuning ourselves to the vibration of that stone and calling on those properties. So if you believe and understand that the moon can affect the tides of the ocean, you will understand that other forms of nature can affect us as well. So citrine is a very special quartz. I'm going to hold it up so you can see the sparkly goodness of it. It carries properties of abundance, wealth, confidence, personal power, creativity, decisiveness, endurance, and focus. Those are all very masculine properties. This stone can stabilize multiple chakras, it can disperse fears, and really energize that confidence you have in yourself. It's very powerful because it's one of two stones that does not need any clearing or cleansing or charging. Because it doesn't deflect negative energy, it doesn't absorb negative energy, it actually transforms it. So you can utilize the energies that are negative and fears. You can harness those energies and turn it into something useful. What's really interesting about citrine is it starts out as amethyst. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the purple stone amethyst. And it turns into this amber yellow citrine when it is heated up. So I love to think about citrine and the process of making a citrine as the process for self-confidence and really making great decisions that turn into positive results. So you start with an amethyst, a purple chunk, which is your vision. It's beautiful, it's glorious, but it's not the end goal. And so you apply heat to that amethyst. And same thing, when you apply belief to your vision, you put a little fire and energy under your vision, results start to happen, right? It transforms into a citrine. You manifest, you create results. And so if you haven't started your crystal collection yet, or you want to know what is an essential stone to be programming, I would definitely say grab a citrine in order to harness that energy of achievement. When you hold the stone, you'll program it by asking for assistance with confidence, focus, abundance, whatever it is that you feel like you need to call in. And just know that whenever you're in the vicinity or holding it, it is offering that healing for you. So that is how you're gonna take it up a notch with the skills that you've just learned on how to make decisions with confidence. This has been an exceptional workshop. It's so great to connect with you and really open this new spirit and this fresh perspective. So I want to thank you for your support, and let me know please by email or at Tidy Tour on Instagram if there's any way that I can support you further in your own journey. Have a great day and big love.